What do you want to talk about?
Wrestling. Wrestling is good.
Why do you do that?
Oh.
Why not?
It's fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's episode of Spot Show live stream. Hopefully, everybody's had a good week so far. Down here in Georgia, the weather's been pretty wet, except for today. Yesterday wasn't too bad. We had a little bit of shower yesterday, but today it's been nice and clear. No, I didn't do any cocaine. Sorry, just itching my nose. That was rude of me. Anyway, today was nice, sunny and warm, clear skies, but looks like it's going to be a wet weekend this weekend. Anyway, appreciate everybody tuning in, and if you're not tuning in, appreciate those people who are watching on the replay. Let me do the usual bullshit sales pitch and say, hey, if you enjoy what you're watching, you like it, then click that like button, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Leave a comment about any of the subjects I talked about tonight. Also, be a champ and hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber yet. It's free, no charge at all. Just click that subscribe button. Guess you can click that notification bell so you'd be notified anytime a new video or anything comes out of mine. Yeah, so that's the fun stuff. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah. I promise I'm not on cocaine, people. I can't afford it. And if I could afford it, I'd be too cheap. Anyways, let's see. Nobody's in the chat. Nothing late breaking or anything like that this week. Just a little news tidbits here and there. You know, I don't usually. If it's really major, I might, talk about it, but nothing too major this week. Let's start off with some prelim stuff. Apparently, AEW has a new show now. The new show is set to premiere Friday on TBS YouTube. Joe King, I'm here just eating. Cool. What are you eating? Because, hey, I know he didn't do it on purpose. It's a nice little segue to the first story I'm talking about. He's eating, and the new show that AEW is having is a show called Build and a Match, Breaking Bread and Breaking Tables. And that's going to be on the TBS YouTube channel. Brendan Watson, hello. So let's see, a new show, the article reads as follows. A new AEW show has been officially announced, set to premiere this Friday on the official TBS YouTube channel. It was recently reported that a pilot for a new AEW-related program with Warner Brothers Discovery was slated to be announced this week for social channels. Today, that report was seemingly confirmed, with AEW announcing a new show, Meal and a Match, Breaking Bread and Breaking Tables, set to debut on TBS's official YouTube channel Friday, May 17th. The show will feature, The show will feature Renee Paquette and RJ City sitting down with a variety of AEW stars as they share a meal and watch some wrestling. Former Continental Champion Eddie Kingston is set to be their first guest. Wow. That sounds awesome, don't it? Uh, the description of the show, first show reads, RJ City and Renee Paquette look to prove we've been watching wrestling wrong as they look to break bread and break tables with some of the biggest names in AEW. Eddie Kingston joins them for a dive into great action and great Dallas food and the premiere of Meal in a Match. Uh, when I first seen the previews to this, it almost looked like the old, what was it called? Dinner in a Movie. But I think they would actually have people come on and cook some food. And they would have wrestlers on there at one time. You know, when WCW was going great with the whole WCW versus NWO thing, the Monday Night Wars. They had wrestlers on there on one of their shows. As you see here, there's Randy Savage, but you know, first episode is going to have. Let's see if I can blow it up a little bit. Uh, so I guess so this is kind of a. I guess it's going to be more of a table for three, but always going to be 2 to 3 is always going to be RJ City and Renee Paquette, and then the third guess is whoever they can get on there. Sorry about that, but I like when did have the WWE network. Did enjoy the WWE's table for three. Those were always pretty good. Hello, Karen Poole. She's here. Raise her hand. Um, the table for three will have like uh, I know one time they had Eric Bischoff, Jim Cornette. Gosh, who was the third one? I want to say Bruce Pritchard. I guess Bruce, because there was a little bit of heat between Bischoff and Cornette, but everybody stayed professional, of course. You know, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't. If anything got too out of hand, I don't think they would have aired it, but who knows? But didn't get out of hand. They stayed professional, and they, of course, they had the New Day on table for three, but they always get like three different wrestlers or the same team or uh, Joe King pork chops mac and cheese. Just got home. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds real good. Pork chop and mac and cheese. I had that a couple weeks ago, um, or more than a couple weeks ago. Was it? I can't remember. Sounds better than my Chick-fil-A sandwich. I had Chick-fil-A. But anyway, yeah, this sounds kind of like more like that. I thought it almost looked in the previews like it's going to be more of that dinner in a movie that TBS used to have from I think it was 1995 to 2011, I believe. But yeah, this looks like a table for three type deal, and uh, don't think I'm gonna go on my way to watch it. I might, depends on who they have on there. Of course, everybody knows what a big Eddie Kingston fan I am. Not, so I'm definitely not gonna watch this one. Um, but if they have somebody interesting on there, I'll probably check and see. Like I said, I like the table for three that WWE had. Do they still have that on the Peacock? I knew they had one that it's more than a table for three. It's like the whole you know, basically Undertaker's friends with the Godwins and the Godfather. Who else was on there? I don't think JBL was on there. Gosh, he was I know the Godwins, Godfather, Undertaker. So it was like, yeah, 4 or 5. Godwins, Undertaker, Godfather. Seems like there was a couple more on there, but I can't forget who was on. That was either way. That was a good one. They're sitting there shooting the shit, playing playing dominoes, drinking that Jack Daniels. That's what you need. I think what was it? Didn't the High Spots used to have a shoot interview format one time. It was like a case of beer and was it Kish? Well, was it Rikishi? Yeah, because he was a part of that group one. Well, I know Yokozuna was, but of course Yokozuna passed away. It might have been Rikishi. Either way, that was a pretty good episode. Like I said, they're sitting there, just drinking Jack Daniels and playing dominoes, just telling stories. Which I wish it. Sometimes on things like that, you just want to put a camera up, walk away, let them, drink that whole bottle, play as much dominoes or cards or wherever they're playing. Let them shoot the shit, tell old stories, and just kill all the footage you can, then air it. Because I'm pretty sure uh, that would have been a great fly on the wall type moment there. To seeing all those guys, telling stories. Um, but yeah, that was a good one. There was a good one with the New Day. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think there was one with AJ, Shawn Michaels, and Kevin Nash. That was pretty good. Um, but yeah, like I said, this looks like it might be that same format, except for what's his name, RJ City and Renee Paquette will be 2 to 3. Then they'll bring somebody on. So it's kind of like dinner and a movie, bumped uglies with table for three. They would create meal in the match, breaking bread and breaking tables. Um, like I said, if they have somebody interesting on there, I might check it out. But as of right now, I don't have that much. It's a YouTube channel. It's a YouTube show, so it's one of those you can just click on anytime. Let's see what else we got here. If you're looking forward to the Hulk Hogan movie, do not hold your breath. Whoops. I don't know. Yeah, try and make it where you can read it. And who cares about seeing? I'll shrink myself up even more. Uh, Actor Chris Hemsworth, known for his roles in Thor, Avengers, and Rush, was cast as the iconic Hulk Hogan back in 2019 with Todd Phillips slated to direct. However, there has been little news about the movie's progress. In a recent interview with Screen Rant, Hemsworth shared his uncertainty about the project's status. Uh, and this is coming from Chris Hemsworth. To work with Todd Phillips, who we discussed making the film with, would be an honor and a fantastic opportunity. I can't say it's officially happening yet. If there was a green light, I'd get to work on it. Hemsworth stated, "We went on to explain the challenges of portraying a real life character. It's a tricky thing to play a real life character. I've done it before. Well, I've done it once before, and people immediately have the measuring stick out and the critiques and so on. It'd be nerve wracking, but if there's a great script and a story to tell, I love to jump into it, but there's nothing official at this point." In the meantime, you catch, Hemsworth. He's busy with his latest project, Furiosa, the I guess the Mad Max tale or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's going to bomb. Which is set to hit theaters this weekend, and it's probably going to bomb. Um, Sorry, this hate to be off subject, wrestling subject, but what's what's a Mad Max movie without Mad Max? I was actually watching. Okay, I digress. I know this is probably uh should be later on, but you know, somebody made a good point. I was watching another show on YouTube that was talking about this movie coming up, and they kind of made a good point. It's like people are either going to watch or not going to watch it. The best opportunity for people to watch it would be if they just have Mel Gibson come back as Mad Max, old man Mad Max. Write a good, decent script, tell a good story uh, about an old man version of Mel Gibson's old guy. People that are going to watch it or not watch it at this point. I don't think Mad Max was. I mean, I think the first two or three did okay in theaters, but it wasn't like $1 billion movies. I don't think. I have to look that up, but I'm not a movie expert. I just know the first one was good, second one was good, third one was okay. The one with Tom Hardy, eh, I fell asleep in the middle of it. So, um, yeah, usually if I fall asleep in the middle of a movie, not a good sign. That means I am not interested, especially if it's a movie I've seen for the first time. And it was like the first time I was seeing it. I was wide awake, ready to watch it. Fell asleep for like 30 minutes and totally lost interest. Um, but yeah, that'll be the way to go for a Mad Max movie. That it actually sounds cool. I mean, I know a lot of people hate Mel Gibson, but come on, I mean, people make mistakes. A lot of people has done worse and gotten uh, other opportunities. I mean, what was it? Expendables 3. Uh, Now the first two Expendables were a fun watch. Third one was good because of Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson played a perfect heel in that movie. Uh, but that's of course my opinion. So we can talk about it later in our bullshit section. Let's see. Let's move along here. Congratulations to Missy Hyatt. She is a college graduate right now. Article reads: the first lady of wrestling, Missy Hyatt, graduated college. That's right, the legendary Walking Riot, Missy Hyatt, has graduated from Lively Technical College in Tallahassee, Florida. Her degree appears to be being a barber. Missy the Barber Hyatt. Uh, didn't she have a fling also with Brutus Beefcake? See, there you go. Missy the Barber Beefcake or Hyatt. Anyway, Missy's best known, of course, for her time in World Class and WCW, also UWF, where she was linked with such big names as Hollywood John Tatum, Hosta Eddie Gilbert, ex-husband, the Steiner brothers. She also had notable feuds with the wise man Paul Heyman, who was, you know, Paul E. Dangerously at the time, and Medusa. Missy had brief stints at both the WWE, then WWF, and ECW. Her run in WWF was in the late 1980s, where she was to host a Piper's Pit like talk show. I think it was going to be called Missy's Manor. Uh, didn't really work out for her. Not sure. I don't think. I think Eddie Gilbert was very, from what I believe, what she said. Eddie Gilbert was really supportive of her doing that. Could be wrong, but anyway, her ECW run was her as a MILF character, where she managed the Sandman. Missy was also a call-in host of a 1-hour weekly podcast for most of 2006. So yeah, congratulations to Missy Hyatt. She has a degree in being a barber, cosmetologist, or whatever. Uh, so yeah, seems like she's like every shoot interview she's ever done since the mid '90s. She was always in school for something. I think she was in school for psychology at one point. I know one of the last things I saw her, she was doing the Civil War reenactments. I thought she was doing something else, but basically cosplaying as Civil War. I guess you know female, but now she can go cut your hair. So if you're in Tallahassee, Florida, you might be seeing her have her own shop and go in there and say, "Hey, I remember you," or if you're my age, of course, you probably remember her. I think she was like everybody's crush. Uh, let's see, moving along here. It appears that Johnny Knoxville is not through with Sami Zayn yet. Johnny Knoxville's rivalry with Sami Zayn shows no signs of slowing down as the Jackass star continues to mock Zayn on social media. Their feud, which began on WWE TV and accumulated in a match at WrestleMania 38, which had a lot of smoke and mirrors in it, but it was actually pretty good. Pretty entertaining match. Has remained heated despite Zayn's turn to a babyface character. On Tuesday, Knoxville kept the animosity alive by commenting on an Instagram post by Zayn. The post featured Zayn and Becky Lynch holding their respective titles with the caption, "We did it right." Knoxville responded, by doing all right, you mean I am wee man body slamming you again in front of the entire audience? What a shame. The poor audience had to watch you bomb all night and then get humiliated by me and wee man again. Becky Lynch was terrific though. Why she associated herself with the likes of you, I will never know. This is coming from Johnny Knoxville. Uh, Also, Johnny Knoxville said, "Remember when wrestlers used to shave and get tans? Sammy certainly doesn't. I didn't get enough time to get in on my insults, so I will get them in here now. Hey, everybody, Sammy's a vegan. Just in case you didn't think he was already annoying enough." That's a good point. Uh, I give you the shirt off my back just so I don't have to see all the hair on your back. I hate you as much as you hate going to the gym. Sammy's the Intercontinental Champion. My favorite Intercontinental Champion will always be Razor Ramon. Sammy, I doubt you know who he is since you never heard of a Razor, you hairy beep. He went on to say other comments, like this one. Remember when wrestlers used to shave and get... Oh, I already said that one. Uh, but yeah. So So that would be kind of interesting, I guess. If this time, definitely it's going to be a switch of roles. Johnny Knoxville is going to have to come in as the heel, and Sami Zayn the babyface. So get his little revenge match maybe, and uh, get that win back he lost at WrestleMania 38. On a more serious note, I mentioned last week I heard Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins have resigned with the WWE, so there is no Seth Rollins or I guess they'll go back calling him Tyler Black is all elite. No Drew Galloway is all elite. They're both still going to be WWE superstars. Uh, and so far, Drew McIntyre has spoke up about it. After months of speculation about his WWF future, Drew McIntyre has signed a new lucrative deal with WWE, extending his contract for the next 3 years. During negotiation, it was suspected that McIntyre would resign as he is considered to be doing some of the best work in his career as a heel. Yes, this stuff he's doing right now with CM Punk uh, is awesome. Joking either. Yeah, the Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins match was pretty good. I mean, like I said, it had a lot of smoke and mirrors, but it was a fun watch. Anyway, Drew McIntyre doing his best work is the stuff with him, CM Punk is I say it's gold. I mean, you got two guys injured, getting reactions, just doing promos. Uh, Because that's all they can do right now. I think CM Punk is still injured. Of course, McIntyre has recently been injured, so uh, probably ain't gonna be too much longer. They will be in the ring, but still keeping their name out there and this feud going, just delivering promos. Uh, it's good, good old fashioned stuff here. Post WrestleMania, McIntyre is still on TV, but not participating in house shows due to his hyperextended elbow sustained at WrestleMania. In a recent interview with the Daily Mail, McIntyre discussed his decisions to stay with the WWE. He said, "Being happy at this point of my life and career is all that matters. Is I'm happy and I can get time with my family that I've not had in 20 years. When it comes to creative, I can only control the controllable. As we've seen almost for the past couple of years, there's been a lot of leeway given to talent, a lot of more collaboration. I can say it. It's been awesome, as you can see across the board. A lot of people are breaking out, and an opportunity for myself to show what I can truly do," McIntyre said. He added that while there was always the challenges, he knows he's in his prime and has no plans to stop wrestling now. And I just said too, I mean, this stuff with him and CM Punk, uh, it's gold. I mean, it's gonna be. I want to say it's gonna be like a Steamboat Flair or recently Osprey and Brian Danielson, but it's gonna be a work. It'll be a decent match. But the promo and the story building is what's going to, you know, keep people's interest in this. Um, right now, WWE is doing a very good job across the board with this. Um, excuse me. What was I saying? But yeah, they've been doing a good job with this. Their ratings are kind of dipping down a little bit after Mania, but you know that's to be expected because there's now you got new champion, new they had a draft, so new storylines are being built up. This is one of the ones that hasn't gone nowhere, so it's definitely going to be interesting. And it seems like Drew McIntyre just wants to piss off everybody. He's pissed off at the world. Monday he talked about CM Punk, of course, Jey Uso. He's still pissed off about him getting his world title shot. He pinned him thanks to CM Punk. And also got his King of the Ring opportunity. But Damian Priest did come out and say, "Hey, if you want a shot at the title, let's go, bro." Okay, he didn't say it that way, but I'm paraphrasing. And speaking of contracts, seems like there's a couple ladies who has not been renewed yet. Uh, there has been a recent surge of contract expirations in the WWE. One of them being Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, her contract is due to expire in June 2024, which is not far from now. At this time, there's no new deal yet. She is the current WWE Women's World Champion. She is due to take some time off, I think, but because of the injury with Rhea Ripley, uh, I asked her, "Hey, can you postpone your vacation?" And she said, "Yeah." So that right there tells me I don't think she's planning on going anywhere. I'm pretty sure a deal will be signed pretty soon. Um, the other lady is Natalia. Uh, let's see. Natalia's current deal is set to end very soon. Yes, like you said, Seth signed, so she will. And the fact that she was like, "Okay, sure, I'll help you guys out." With somebody got injured, so I'll fill in for now. Um, it tells me she's gonna resign, so it ain't gonna be no Becky is all elite. Uh, and joining her friend uh, Mercedes Money. But also, Natalia's deal is set to end very soon. Natalia signed with the WWE in June of 2007 and made her roster debut in April 2008. In nearly 2 decades with the WWE, she's held the Divas Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, the Women's Tag Team Championship with Tamina. So she's held gold, but she's been put in some bad spots. Um, and she was kind of right there at the tail end of uh, the Divas era and the women's wrestling era, or the women's revolution, if you want to call it that. Basically, the gap between uh, the Kelly Kellys, uh, the what they call uh, I can't think of her names now. Bellas. I don't know why it slipped my mind. Bellas. Yeah, she was between that, the like the Kelly Kellys types and the Bella types to Charlotte Flair's, Becky Lynch, uh, Saraya, which was Paige at the time. So she was right in between that. So and she's still very talented. I don't know if you watched Raw a couple weeks ago. She had a very good match with Io Sky. Probably one of the best matches she's been in a while, I think. Um, but uh, but yeah, sorry about that. Got distracted for a second there. But yeah, she had a very good match with her. She's not going to be a main roster star, but she does still have value, I think, with the company. Uh, that player coach type person. Um, I mean, if anything, she could uh, be an agent maybe, or be a help train people in the performance center, or kind of stick around and like uh, if there's a talent gets pulled, kind of like they do with Jay Carhill right now. Jay Carhill is with a least WWE veteran, Bianca Belair. Maybe, maybe kind of like they paired her off with Indy Hartwell. So when their partnership kind of ends and Indy Hartwell goes full single or single or wherever she goes, you pair Natalia with somebody else and kind of go from there. Uh, that's kind of an old school mentality because the Crockett's used to do that. Uh, like there's like a new talent that would pair them off because it was a tag team territory before, like in the '60s and '70s, before the Ric Flairs and the Wahoos and the Johnny Valentines and all that came in, and it became more of a singles deal. But it used to be like a hot tag team territory with the Andersons and Gene and Ole Anderson and Sweet Hansen and his partner. Um, but that's what they would do. They uh, have like an old guard, like say Johnny Weaver. Then I think Paul Jones, I think was younger at the time. I think they did pair them off together, kind of like the old, not the old guard, but the veteran kind of leading the rookie or something like that. I think that'll be a perfect spot for Natalia. That way she can, you know, be a, be right there on the apron, kind of look and see what's going on, and get herself tagged in, do the selling and stuff like that, and uh, maybe do some hand signals like, hey, this is how you do this and that, and then when they go back to the back, I said, uh, you know, she can be like, hey, you did this, that good, but you want to work on this, that. So I think that would be a perfect role for Natalia at this point in her career. She's been, I mean, like I said, signed with 2007, made her main roster debut in 2008. Gosh, uh, that's 16 years, if my math is right. Uh, Public education and math was not my subject. I gotta, I'm one of these people that's got to take all their clothes just to count to 21. So, uh, yeah, my math is not good. But yeah, I believe that's 16 years at the yeah. So Becky Lynch, she still has the support. She's still in that main event level. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna get a good payday out of it. Good sizable contract for the next 3 years. Uh, Probably on the level of Charlotte Flair's, I believe. So uh, look for that. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot that I plucked out of the thing. I uh, did my usual thing. I kind of just went through the whole news thing and plucked little things here and there that not everybody's talking about. Um, I know the news story this week was how Tiffany Stratton called Jay Cargill a B word, actually a BB word, black. Um, I think everybody's having a making a bigger deal of this than Jay Cargill because so far, Tiffany Stratton's still alive, so I'm pretty sure if Jay Cargill has something to say about it, we'll see Tiffany Stratton with a couple black eyes or something like that. Mess up that pretty face of hers. But and speaking of things, that got me when I seen this thing about Missy Hyatt. I know she worked, WWF very briefly. I mean, you probably find footage of it on YouTube, maybe. I would try to find it, but uh, I already gotta redo my uh, Wrestling Gold Friday night intro differently because they will hit WWE will hit you up for copyright, you know, deals. But I still think Missy Hyatt should be in. Put her in. I mean, I think that's the biggest one right now. I mean, even though yes, no, I'll repeat this again, no physical Hall of Fame except for the one in New York, but it's not the WWE, it's Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Um, it'd be nice if they would have. Uh, there's YouTube people. You can air this thing on YouTube. There's a Fight Network. I guess you can strike up a deal with them and maybe air the ceremonies on there. But right now, the biggest ceremony is during WrestleMania weekend, and that is usually when they do their WWE Hall of Fame ceremony. Even though, like I said, there's no physical Hall of Fame yet, it would be cool if they did have one. Um, I know that rumor a few years ago was I was going to put it close to the Performance Center or on that same property or something like that, but never did happen. I know they have new, a big extravagant WWE experience in Saudi Arabia. I'm pretty sure they pay good money to have that there. Uh, excuse me. Um, but yeah, would be cool to see. I mean, right there in the '80s, Missy Hyatt was uh before there was Elizabeth. Real, I mean, Elizabeth was if you was going to kind of compare them, uh, Missy Hyatt was kind of like Ric Flair, center of attention. uh, Did not, you know, uh, did not hesitate to kiss and tell. Let's just say that. Whereas Elizabeth was kind of like Ricky Steamboat, the proper, classy, elegant, beautiful as well. Uh, I guess kind of portrayed as a family woman, even though I don't think her and Randy ever had kids, but uh, it was no secret, especially at that time, that they were husband and wife. But yeah, so yeah, I think Elizabeth needs to go in there too, but definitely Missy Hyatt because she was before the divas, before there was Tori Wilson or Bella Twins, Stephanie McMahon or Sunny, any of those people. There was Missy Hyatt. Missy Hyatt was very influential. I mean, whether they want to admit it or not, very influential in all these women. And I'm pretty sure the new crop, like the before mentioned Tiffany Stratton, I'm pretty sure you can watch her. And then if you go back and look at Missy Hyatt, they probably have the same mannerism. You know, it ain't just blonde hair and looks good. It was certain little mannerisms. And yeah, like get this new crop of women do their fake. Oh, yes, I'm really inspired by Missy Hyatt. Okay, you're not even old enough to know when she was at her peak, in her prime. But yeah, she definitely needs to be in a Hall of Fame. Uh, as does Elizabeth. I mean, um, I think she needs to be in their Hall of Fame. I don't know why she's not yet. Uh, Maybe it's something to do with her family or something like that. Who knows? Nothing's really too much said about Elizabeth. You know, and what her family thinks. As far as maybe. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not any kind of heat between them or they probably haven't approached them yet, but I know fans definitely want to see Elizabeth. And I know it's, gosh, last year or so, I think it's been, especially on the internet wrestling community, it's been a strong push for having a woman in the Hall of Fame. Which that's going. I mean, I'm pretty sure her sister don't mind. But it's going to open up some wounds. And unfortunately, that weekend kind of uh, it put a black eye on the WWF or WWE because of course you know like a lot of things, it's not the individuals who got the blame. Of course, that individual kind of off themselves, but uh, WWE and Vince McMahon were to blame for all of this, and got the major heat for it. But uh, like I said, that's just my opinion. I think woman, I wouldn't mind woman being in there. Nancy, let's call it Nancy Sullivan, or call it Nancy Benoit. That's what I'm talking about. I should share the picture or something like that. But I'm kind of going off the cuff here, talking about people who should be in a Hall of Fame. I mean, of course, Natalia, she'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and if that's a real deal. I think it's just sometimes I wonder if they just pick names out of the hat. I'm pretty sure it depends on where they're at times, which I didn't quite get through it. U.S. Express. I mean, I still say they want to put Mike Rotundo in there. Uh, They didn't want. I mean, understandably, I don't think they wanted to put Bray Wyatt in there yet. It's still a little too fresh. Let it, you know, let the family cope. You know, I mean, it looked like definitely looked like I mean, it was obvious that Mike Rotunda was still hard for him to even mention his the passing of his son, which be with for anybody. But just that last little segment when they was doing their acceptance speech, that was pretty hard. But uh, but yeah, Missy Hyatt, I'm pretty sure she will be able to give a great acceptance speech, and have some. Please do not have Ric Flair uh, uh, be the nominate her wherever it's called. Um, Dang, that is a good question. Who would Oh my gosh, that is absolute good question there. Who would induct Missy Hyatt into the Hall of Fame? I mean, I guess Paul Heyman could, since they do have that history. Uh, they had that little feud that involved Jason Hervey, who was dating Missy Hyatt at the time. Yes, Jason Hervey, the guy who was on that show, The Wonder Years. They used to date. Um, and many more. Stephanie McMahon, that would be pretty. I mean, uh, if it's true that Stephanie McMahon got her, how can I say this? The pouty puff, when she, had her lips poked out, when she was mad. Supposedly she borrowed that from, yeah, John Tatum. Um, I don't know how realistic that would be. I'm pretty sure. I mean, pretty sure he would do it. I think whatever. I'm pretty sure he's all happy with his life and which it seemed like in interviews he's done that hey, um, him and Missy had a relationship. It ended. Life goes on. Seemed like to be his attitude of it. I'm pretty sure they don't talk like every day or anything like that. Let's see. And of course, Eddie Gilbert passed away. Doug Gilbert, I don't think wants to. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think Doug Gilbert will want to. Uh, I, I vaguely remember Doug Gilbert not having too many fond things to say about Missy Hyatt. Which, granted, he was a little brother and he's gonna stick up for Big Brother. But guess that's what we do. But but if Missy did go, I could definitely see Paul Heyman doing it. Maybe Rick Steiner, maybe Stephanie McMahon. Uh, Now reaching will be Sting. I mean, because you got to remember, Hot Stuff, High International. Uh, I think they call themselves the First Family as well. Uh, it was Eddie Gilbert, Missy Hyatt, Rick Steiner, and Sting. So then Sting, Missy Hyatt went on to manage the Steiner brothers in WCW. She also managed the Nasty Boys. Oh my gosh. Uh oh, Eric Bischoff. I don't think it. I I, I think Missy would even. I don't know. Missy would eat it up. Have the guy who fired her give her her Hall of Fame. That would be funny. Is Eric Bischoff in the Hall of Fame? Oh, is he? Did he go in the Hall of Fame being part of the NWO? Yeah, yeah. He. That's right. He went in as a member of the NWO. And I really don't like the legacy thing. I'm just in here looking. It's like I am Brickhouse Brown. He's in a legacy thing. I think it was in 2021, but and you got Steve Dr. Death Williams. He needed his own spot. Should have had Jim Ross out there, you know, talking about Dr. Death or Bill Watts, uh, or 2020. Excuse me. Actually, no. Wait a minute. Eric Bischoff's in there by himself. My bad. I did not know that. Eric Bischoff is 2021 class of Smiley Holly, Eric Bischoff, Kane, Great Khali, and Rob Van Dam, Celebrity, Ozzy Osbourne, Legacy, Dick the Brewster, Pistol Pez Watley, Buzz Sawyer, and Paul Bosch. No, I don't think Sonny's going to be able to make it. Apparently, she's having some health issues in prison, which, sorry. It's kind of hard for me to feel sympathy for somebody who did a bonehead thing that she's done multiple times, but this time that bonehead thing cost somebody else their life, and so she's miserable in prison. I don't care. I'm not a sympathetic person, uh, or sympathetic person. Did I say sympathetic? Sympathetic. Excuse me. Not a sympathetic person. Nope. Not this icy black heart. Even if there is one. Uh, but yeah, Sony. I guess I could send a videotape in her, prison cell. Yeah, I have absolute zero sympathy. Which kind of sad. She's a WWE Hall of Famer, but Chris Candido isn't. But yeah, like I said, I think Missy definitely should go in there. Uh, I don't know if they did put Nancy Benoit in there or Nancy Sullivan. Who would nominate her? The only person I think of is either, yeah, Lex Luger should be in there. Sid Vicious, why not? He should be in there. Definitely have Sting come in and speak for Lex Luger or induct Lex Luger. Sid, Harvey, or Downtown Bruno. Bring back Downtown Bruno to nominate Sid because they were kind of. I know he managed him in Memphis, managed him as Harvey Winkleman in the WWF. So that'll be my top choice. If Lex Luger, they put Lex Luger in Hall of Fame, it's got to be Sting. And for Sid Vicious, it's got to be Harvey Winkleman or down. We down here know Harvey Winkleman as Downtown Bruno. Like Mama says, it bees that way sometime. A line he stole from who? Iceman King Parsons. And you want to hear a pretty good promo? Uh, heel Iceman King Parsons was pretty freaking good. Pretty entertaining. Almost like The Rock before there was The Rock. And they need to start putting some jobbers in there. Enhancement talent, jobbers, whatever. Um, need to put the Mulkeys in there. Need to put Mike Boyette in there. Oh, Park, Robert Fuller, Colonel Parker. Okay, that'll be my second choice. I say Downtown Bruno. Parker's second choice. Um, Jerry Lawler's health ain't all that good, so I don't know if he'd be good to make a speech about somebody. So I think it was could be his cousin Shane Douglas. Uh, they're not really cousins. Back in the Continental Territory, I think at the time it was called Continental Wrestling Federation. Uh, Sid Vicious was in the humongous gimmick, the hockey mask and all that, and Shane Douglas was also there, but they ran an angle that it was revealed that humongous was Shane Douglas's cousin. Pretty good stuff there, I thought. Pretty good, entertaining stuff there, but that turned humongous babyface and all that. But no, Shane Douglas and Sid Vicious are not real cousins. It's a joke, boys and girls. I think it was Jerry Lawler that broke Sid Vicious in, right? Okay, so of course, take it for what it's worth. I'm reading from Wikipedia. Wikipedia is like the cliff notes of anybody's biography. So anyway, Sid Eby is his real name, or Sid Vicious, entered wrestling after a encounter with Randy Savage and his brother Lenny Poffo. After being trained by Tojo Yamamoto, Vicious made his debut as he teamed with Austin Idol and wrestled the team of Dick Bockwinkel and Jerry Lawler. He adopted the masked persona known as Lord Humongous. He began his career in Continental Championship Wrestling in '87 under the mask and name Lord Humongous. Christmas Day of 1987, he won the NWA Southeastern Heavyweight Championship, uh, going on to be the final title holder. I guess this is when it went from Continental Championship Wrestling to Continental Wrestling Federation. He later turned fan favorite after rekindling a kayfabe childhood friendship with Shane Douglas. Was it friendship or I thought they were cousins. Anyway, they formed a tag team, winning the Southeastern Tag Team Championship. He also competed in New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he challenged Tatsumi Fujinami for the IWGP Championship under the name of Vicious Warrior, but was unable to win the title. UB then made his brief stint in World Class Wrestling, where he adopted one of the most his notable ring name, Sid Vicious, which he took from the pop rock musician of the same name who played bass for the Sex Pistols. And it says, Tojo Yamamoto trained him. I thought I heard somebody say Jerry Lawler discovered him. And I guess you really can't have Randy Savage, Lanny Poffo, or Tojo Yamamoto induct them since they're no longer with us. Uh, you would probably reach with Dan Spivey. They were, or Teddy Long. There you go. Teddy Long would be a reasonable third option, since he managed Sid Vicious as part of the Skyscrapers. Anyways, but yeah, uh, Colonel Robert Parker, or excuse me, Robert Fuller. Come on, don't call him Robert or Colonel Parker. He is Robert Fuller. Don't get me on my rant about people's name changes again. So I didn't like that either. It's like everybody knew that was Robert Fuller. Anybody who was watching WCW at that time, Robert Fuller. Who else? And I don't even know a good second person that can induct, like, or Barry Windham can, but I don't think Barry Windham's not that good on the mic. You would definitely have to coach him up to. And Sting's retired. He's a free agent. He's a WWE Hall of Famer, a TNA Hall of Famer. But yeah, there is a real pro wrestling Hall of Fame up in New York. Let's see, or I guess there's a couple. There's a couple. I thought it was New York. Let's see. Most. So yeah, the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum is in Amsterdam, New York. I think that's where it still is. Well, wait a minute. Actually, they've moved it. It's in Wichita Falls, Texas. See, we need to go to Texas. Yeah, it could only be Sting. Yeah, reaching maybe Buff. Um, I mean, major reach would be Barry Windham because I know they they were closed at one time. But yes, there is a physical place called the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum in Wichita Falls, Texas. The museum was founded by Tony Villano in 1999 and was previously in Amsterdam, New York, and it was in New York. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. Whatever. Not going to do it. Its purpose was to preserve and promote the dignity history of professional wrestling and to enshrine and pay tribute to professional wrestlers who have advanced in national pastime in terms of athletics and entertainment. It was not affiliated with any pro wrestling promotion. I say, let's road trip Wichita Falls, Texas. And they have a now some of these people has been nominated a couple times, but they do have a pretty good list of a who's who. I mean, anybody's on this Hall of Fame definitely deserves to be in it. Uh, Heck, they got some referees as well. Definitely would like to visit this place. Where's the website? Hey, is anybody from New York or Texas where this Hall of Fame is? Let me know. I'd definitely like to check this place out. Is there a website? Yep. This site cannot be reached. Well, crapola. Oh, never mind. I just seen that it's permanently closed. Crap. It didn't mention that. Son of a bee sting. Well, there goes my me want to go to Wichita Falls, Kansas. Okay, not a big building or anything, but it definitely looks like they have a lot of stuff in there. Well, they Paul Heyman last year, Rob Van Dam's in there. That's I mean I think Tommy Dreamer definitely needs to be in there. Uh, I mean, technically speaking, Mick Foley, but you know, I guess he was at that time. Him being nominated. He's definitely more famous for being a WWE as Mankind, Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, uh, anything else. Dang. Wow. Trying to see. Well, I guess technically speaking, I could be wrong here. The first time anybody who was in, famous for being ECW, the Dudley Boys. They were big in ECW before coming to WWE. They had a name coming in, and that was 2018. Let's see. And 2021, Rob Van Dam. So yeah, they kind of. I mean, they own it. Yeah, they own ECW. So I mean, I guess does Rob does Tommy Dreamer works for TNA though, don't he? Which I'm pretty sure TNA they seem to have a pretty good friendly relationship. I think. Uh, so yeah, basically, Paul Heyman, Rob Van Dam, and the Dudleys. Yeah, they still made a name in WWE though, but they already had a name coming into the WWE, and that name was built in ECW. Because I remember when they made their debut, it wasn't like crickets when they came out, and this is before they would uh, phone in what's the phrase I'm looking for? Make the cheers himself. I'm pretty sure that there was one Dudley Boys be booed at that time because they were supposed to be the heels against um, the Hardys and Edgy Christian. But yeah, like I said, Dudley's already had a name because of ECW. Kind of like Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam already had a name in ECW, of course. Recent RVD ended up in WWE because WWE bought ECW. Bought everybody that year. Uh, I just don't think Petty Paul would. I mean, why would Petty Paul have an issue with Tommy Dreamer? Are you talking about Triple H Paul or Petty Paul Heyman? And it shouldn't be Paul Heyman. I mean, the guy worked for you for freaking free. So yeah, I guess he's still kind of work. He's more independent, I think. Doesn't really, um, because he'll just appear anywhere. Yeah, I don't think Triple H has any heat with Tommy Dreamer. I don't, and Triple H is all about business. He might not like somebody, but I don't think you know. I mean, come on, look who the you know look who your main one of your main events competitors uh, who finished their story is the same guy who took a sledgehammer and busted a chair likeness with his logo on it, um, and his own. I guess when he was part owner or EVP of that company, or whatever, or at least founder of the company. Um, in other words, he wasn't petty against Cody Rhodes, but yeah, like I said, I don't think Triple H is all too much about business. If it's good for business, brother. If it's good for business, brother. But yeah, Tommy Dreamer definitely needs to be in there. Sabu, I think, but um, apparently, supposedly, I don't know. Sabu's got some uh the cancel police after him. I think uh I didn't know half of this until he appeared on AEW, and there's a bunch of stuff that came out, which I don't know what it's just the usual BS. He offended somebody and or said something wrong. I forgot what he said. Something. I forgot what he said wrong, but don't care. Do not care. Let's see. Uh, I don't guess Spike Dudley went in with Devon. Mm, Tajiri, he's another guy should be in there. Sandman, why not? If you're gonna put if you're gonna put people in Hall of Fame from ECW, you gotta put Taz. You gotta put Tommy Dreamer. You gotta put Shane. Now I can see if Petty Paul might be petty against Shane Douglas. Uh, but you know they're both too old and out of it to really fight about it anymore. If there was like a big petition for or outcry maybe for Shane Douglas to go in, yeah, Mark Henry. Even though I wasn't a big Mark Henry fan, I mean, Mark Henry was okay. This wasn't a huge fan of his. I mean, his funniest thing he ever did was father a hand. Uh, but yeah, as far as ECW, I, don't forget Taz. You gotta put Taz in there as far as ECW people. Um, that's the only people I think about. At least those people. But if Taz is working for AEW, see that's going to be the petty part right there. If especially in Taz's position, if Taz is working for AEW, you know, uh, there's not going to be much. I don't see. We're not talking about Vince McMahon either. Mm, yeah, yeah. If you do EC, yeah. See, Taz would be tricky too since he's in AEW. Maybe, maybe if he says, okay, yeah, since they can't plug their own, since they don't know how to plug their own shit, uh, I don't know which pay per view. Uh, I guess next year's double or whatever, double or nothing. Since they can't plug their own shit, part of our deal with having Taz in our Hall of Fame is, uh, we gotta plug their shit for them. So they're having a pay per view called Double or Nothing. Check it out. I go. Uh, mm. But yeah, Tommy Dreamer's just worked for TNA. I mean, they had what's her name? Yeah, they had Jordan Grace. Is that her name? The the TNA Women's Champion. So they had her on in the Women's Royal Rumble. So I think they would have no problem. So yeah, Tommy Dreamer, your Hall of Fame. That kind of anybody who watches TNA now will know he's working for us. If he's actually just working for him, but I think Tommy Dreamer just does whatever he wants. It's like you want me to come there, you want to pay me this, okay, I'm coming, I'll be there. Bundy, yeah. Oh, speaking of Raven, Raven's got. I can't believe I forgot Raven. What about Raven? Yes, Raven needs to go in there, but yeah, one man gang, yes. King Kong Bundy, he's passed away. I think he's passed away. Yeah. I mean, if not Demolition, at least Crusher Khrushchev and a mass superstar needs to be in a WWE Hall of Fame. Because technically speaking, yeah, because Bill Eddie worked for WWF when he was the mass superstar. Then he was one of the machines. I think he was Strong Machine. Then he was Demolition. Yeah. So I didn't really hear about this, but why did Rick Martel refuse to go in? Was it because of Vince? What's going on? Okay. Well, this is an article from 2019. Crap. About being in the Hall of Fame. I don't know for a fact, so I may be speaking out of my ass here. But I asked why Rick doesn't come around and why we don't hear about Rick. And I was told Rick is out of the business. He moved on and doesn't want to revisit that part of his life. Uh, so I think Rick Martel is definitely hard. You talk about really good guys. Rick Martel is that class too because he just you find some people hard pressed to find anybody say anything negative about Rick Martel. So, uh, which I think recently, he just doesn't believe in it. But like I said, if what Bruce Pritchard is saying is true too, I can understand that as part of his life. But uh, I think I think I seen a picture of him recently. I think it was probably at some kind of autograph signing or something like that because he had a can that uh, I'm pretty sure nothing was in it, but the looks like an old can, not the whole can, but the arrogance uh, can. Actually, yes, I asked about Rick Martel was one of the trivia questions in this past Tuesday's Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. So go back and check that out. Ah, shameless plug. Um, mm, I mean, yeah, that's kind of a shame if he just doesn't believe in it, but it's one of those things. I think it's more a fans thing because even though that yes, there is no physical WWE Hall of Fame, but yeah, fans want to see their favorites come in like one last time. You know, because I think fans have watched plenty of interviews. I mean, even the Honky Tonk Man finally uh, got the payoff and got the ring and the plaque. So um, but it's more the fans, especially the fans who uh, go attend it live. They want to see their favorite stars, get one last time in the spotlight. And they, you know, last couple of years, WWE ring where they, just give a speech and move on. But uh, yeah, I think the only now that I think about it, Rick Martel is kind of like that, kind of like Bobby Eaton and Brad Armstrong. You don't hear too many people say anything bad about Rick Martel either, except for Tom Zink when he was alive. But and he didn't really say anything too negative. He just um, he kind of made fun of the way he talked, and I think he kind of more complained about he didn't have his back in the. He kind of I don't know. I think Tom Zink kind of felt Rick Martel was just trying to be the star of the team, but Tom Zink was wanting to be a star, or at least be. They should both be equal part stars, but Rick Martel thought he should have been a star of the team. Maybe the WWF at the time probably um, thought believe in Rick Martel more because they worked with him more, and he should have been the guy doing the pins, making the saves and stuff like that, and not Tom Zink. Yeah. By the way, yeah, during I guess '80s before Strike Force, Rick Martel came back with Tom Zink to form the Can-Am Connection. Tom Zink, for some money reasons, whatever, left uh, WWF. Just quit just like that. No notice, no nothing. And that's how Rick Martel wound up teaming with Tito Santana to form Strike Force. Arriba! Strike Force. He was NWA World Television Champion. He was also United States, one half of the United States Tag Team Champions, Pacific Northwest Champion, I think, as well. Whatever that one promotion is, not Stampede, but there was another one. Uh, the one that Dino Bravo was in forever, and Tom Zink is no longer with us. Anyway, he passed away in 2017. He would have been a great shooter review. I mean, I remember when internet just first came out. I think I listened to a couple of interviews he gave on. I think it was probably the Dave Meltzer show or something like that. But boy, he was very down. No, he was not AEW. In fact, there was a battle royal after Jerry Lawler, quit being AWA World Champion, or they stripped him or whatever because of payoffs. They had a battle royal, and gosh, all right, if you're listening out there, this is going to be this week's Wrestling Trivia Tuesdays question. Who was a person that was eliminated last by Larry Zbyszko in the Battle Royal to determine the AWA World Champion? That person being Tom Zink. Tom Zink was the last person Larry Zbyszko eliminated, and that's how Larry Zbyszko became AWA World Champion. So he was that close to being AWA World Champion. Then he went to WCW to become the Z-Man. Let's see. Oh, he was also a 1/3 of the WCW World Six-Man Tag Team Championship. Remember that one? I think there's 2 teams that held it. Dustin Rhodes, Big Josh, and Tom Zink. Wait a minute. Didn't Okay. Let's see. So yes, for a brief time, WCW reintroduced a six-man tag team championship. Nobody asked for it. Nobody cared. There was a tournament held at a house show in Atlanta, Georgia. Junkyard Dog, Ricky Morton, and Tommy Rich won that tournament, defeating Buddy Landell, Buddy Landell, Butch Mantel, and Dr. X. Who is Dr. X? It wound up being Moondog Rex, Brandon Cooley. The second team was the Fabulous Freebirds, Bash Street, who was Brad Armstrong, Jimmy Garvin, and Michael Hayes. Then Big Josh, Dustin Rhodes, Tom Zink. Let's see. Then the last team was the York Foundation, Richard Morton, Thomas Rich, and Terry Taylor. The championship lasted all the way from February of 1991 to October of 1991 and deactivated in December. Okay, so from February to December 4th, 1991, then they just, who cares? Let's see. He was the Canadian International Tag Team Champion with Dan Crockett. And Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Champion. Pacific Northwest Tag Team Champion with Scott Doring. Who is Scott Doring? Nobody knows. He doesn't even have his own Wikipedia page. Oh, he was also in 1984 Wrestling Observer Newsletter Rookie of the Year, tied with Jushin Thunder Liger. No. Well, okay, WCW, not NWA. There's a little difference. See, WCW didn't follow the same lineage as the NWA six-man tag. The NWA six-man tag, yes, Road Warriors and Dusty, the Russians, the Powers of Pain, then Road Warriors and Tenru, I think. Then that's the last team who had the NWA World Six Man Tag Team Championship. I think it was, yeah, because that's when Road Warriors turned heel. Animal had a match with Dusty, defeated Dusty, and they picked Tenru. Then nobody cared. Road Warriors within a few months later turned back babyface for no rhyme or reason because nobody would boo him. That's the reason nobody would boo him. So uh, NWA was a group of territories, and WCW is one company ran by Ted Turner, Turner Broadcasting, and then AOL Time Warner. The NWA at the time, the president was, uh, I guess you can call it Mid Atlantic Territory, or basically the NWA at that point was Jim Crockett Promotions. But then there was no more NWA, only WCW. So WCW has their own lineage of a World Six-Man Tag Team Championship. They didn't want to follow the same lineage as the NWA, which they didn't care about that name no more. I mean, if they cared about that name, I'm pretty sure Ted Turner would be like, "No, I bought Jim Crockett Promotions, which has that name. Lawyers trademarked that name, so I can keep it." Obviously, it didn't matter to him if he kept the name or not. Oh, the Road Warriors. Mm, kind of. I would be kind. Well, see if they. Okay, like okay, if both Animal and Hawk were allowed now and they appeared on AEW, I don't think anybody at AEW boo them. Uh, are you talking about if nobody ever had a paint gimmick and stuff like that? You don't think if the Warrior nobody okay the Royal Warriors did not appear in 80 then debut in '83, which means nobody did a paint gimmick. Uh, I mean, I even Sting or Ultimate Warrior. Well, so you got to think about it too now. If Royal Warriors didn't exist, that would mean the first team. Yeah, but Brian Cage loses every week. When's the last time Brian Cage has won a match? The fans know if Brian Cage is in a match, he's probably going to lose. If it's a three-way match, Brian Cage is going to eat the pin. If it's a six, I mean Brian Cage with the agony, Gates of Agony were the Ring of Honor six-man tag team champions. Nobody gave a shit. But when the Agonies and Brian Cage with a six-man tag with the belts were on the line, Brian Cage would eat the win or eat the pin. The time of Brian, I was even thinking about that when I watched Dynamite last night. I seen Brian Cage come out. I'm like, and he's going to get Swerve Strickland. It's like, really? Is anybody going to believe that Brian Cage is going? I mean, you might as well call him Brian Mulkey or uh, Brian Royal or Brian South. Not George South, it's Brian South. Uh, or Brian Boyette. I mean, yeah, the time of Brian Cage being a prospect, no. And of course, when Brian Cage does the face paint now, see, he tries to do the Sting thing, Sting slash. I mean, Brian Cage has never done that, and nobody cares. They have Sting, um, or they had Sting. But I mean, think about it. Okay, if the Road Warriors didn't come out or debut in 1983 with the haircuts and the painted face, I think the team that would have done that would have been Rock and Flash, the Blade Runners, Dingo, Ultimate Warrior, and Sting. Now, okay, like if the Road Warriors came out like they did in '83, I mean, granted, the Road Warriors were never the finely tuned catch as catch can, whatever, but they just had that certain it factor together, not apart, together. Uh, they had that certain it about them. Might have been a gimmick. It might have been because they're two big muscle bound dudes that now when they were NWA they got better, but they wouldn't. Of course, they're both 6'2", 6 foot, 6'2", whatever. 283. I think Animal was 300. Muscle on top of muscle. Of course, it's kind of embarrassing seeing. Yeah, yeah. I guess Barbarian was by himself. Maybe. Yeah, I think Barbarian was 84, and he was I think he was the babyface with. Well, see, even when Barbarian debuted, I don't think he had the face paint. I think he didn't do the face paint till he became a heel with Paul Jones because he was called Congo the Barbarian. Maybe he did, but that's because the Road Warriors appeared, though. I mean, Road Warriors done hit it big. Uh, and I remember the first time I seen Barbarian, I thought he was Animal. And this was a very much rookie Barbarian. This wasn't, what was it, 87, 88, uh, where he really got him and the Warlord were put together. And Barbarian, I mean, he's always big, but he was leaned up really good. And of course, the Warlord was looked like a big brick shit house, too. Then you had Demolition, and I know how they trying to paint Demolition now. It's like, well, up here we had Demolition. No, everybody knew who the Road Warriors were. That's why when they came out in the WWE, even as the Legion of Doom, had to drop the Road Warriors name and be called Legion of Doom, and they came out without even okay. They didn't have the Road Warriors name. They didn't have Black Sabbath, Iron Man. They was just called a Legion of Doom and new music. But once it came out, they still had the spikes, the haircuts, the paint. They got huge pop. They had the Road Warrior pop. That people prefer to back in those days. Um, Now, say if Hawk was still alive and they made an appearance, because you know that say this is just gonna make an appearance. They're in Chicago. They're gonna come out there, say hello, and maybe trying to think who. Because the Bucks' egos right now, that wouldn't be right. Uh, they take a couple. They probably take a couple little uh jobber heels. Um, but if the Hawk was still alive, Animal came out. Tony Khan's going to borrow the. He's going to pay that money. Get the you got. He's going to have to pay that money to give the Black Sabbath to use Iron Man at least one night. They come out. They cut a promo, say, "Hey, we like we're just, we're in our hometown, which is gimmick hometown. Uh, we just want to say hey to everybody, blah blah blah, and oh what a rush!" And some little heel team comes in and trying to bust that bubble. They hit the Doomsday device. They was they'll get a pop coming to the ring. They'll get a pop for that, leave the ring, get their check, and go. They would definitely get a huge pop if they were still alive for that. Now, if they came in fresh, they would probably have to do the indie circuit, maybe some TNA. Now, if they can't, okay, now if they, you know how big they were in Japan, you got to put that in a factor too. Say this was fresh, prime, straight from Japan Road Warriors, even with the painted face, the spikes, and all that, they would get over in AEW. I'm not pretty sure Hawk would be flexible enough to, or Animal would be flexible enough to learn a super kick. And again, there'd be, uh, people still like dominance. Look at Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe doesn't do nowhere near as much he did in his prime. Every now and then he might, if somebody's brave enough to, to take it, he'll do a suicide dive or whatever, but not much of it. But he goes in, Tyson like most of the time, dominates, goes home, and he's capable. Like with Swerve Strickland, good match, whatever. He's able to do that, and if you got people who he can work with and do that, it wasn't like it was a flip fest with him and CM Punk at the what was it All In last year. It was an entertaining match. Um, so yes, I think the Road Warriors would get over. And like I say, they had that certain it. Oh, I'm yeah. If you're, it's like I said, if they were just making an appearance, and come on, people pop, people gave Rock and Roll a little bit of love to the Rock and Roll Express when they appeared on AEW. Like I said, they just did, you know, one little angle, one time deal, whatever. Road Warriors get out there if they were both alive today. If Hawk was alive, what I'm talking about. Uh, Animal passed away too, didn't he? I can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, my bad. He passed away in 2020. Gosh, I can't believe I forgot that. So yeah, if the Road Warriors were still alive, and they came out, made just a simple appearance in their painted face, because all wrestling fans know who the Road Warriors were. I mean, they just had that. They were just too big, too popular. To I don't think anybody everybody's going to say something about them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rock and Roll Express made a. They just did one little thing on AEW. It wasn't like they had a whole match or anything like that. It's went out there. It was kind of like the retired baseball player. Go out there, throw out the first pitch, wave his hat, wave to the crowd. That's it. And Rock and Roll Express did. I think. Okay, I think Ricky Morton did a suicide dive. But damn, I feel bad forgetting about Hawk or Animal passing away too. My bad. And I didn't know this. His son James is current linebackers coach for Ohio State. But uh, but yeah, I mean, all legends get good receptions on AEW and WWE. But like I mean, well, because he's a legend in other ways besides being just in the ring. Haku would get a big pop in AEW. Everybody be too scared not to cheer him, especially what we know about Haku now. But yeah, like I said, Road Warriors, uh, they definitely would get that Legends treatment. That's about it. I mean, because like I said, Tony Khan would, red carpet, the Black Sabbath Iron Man song, everything, and they get them put their paint on, face paint on and everything else. So, and do like very little. Oh, sounds like my thing. Oh shit. Okay, quit pressing buttons. Anyway, uh, yeah. Anyways, get be by that time, folks. Time to call it a night. Uh, Good conversation. Like I said, I didn't have that much planned. I usually don't have much planned. I just wing this shit, people. Especially on this show. I think I put a lot more effort. I'll admit I put a lot more effort in the Wrestling Gold Friday night than I do uh this one. I just like bullshitting about wrestling. This is my current wrestling stuff. Then we say who should be in Hall of Fame. That was a good conversation. Of course, the uh, nah, yeah, like I said, I don't think the Warriors definitely won't be booed today, um, at any state. But anyway, like I said, that does it for me tonight. Appreciate everybody joining me in the chat. If you watch the replay, throw in your comments uh, about I don't know how we I guess just got on my tongue about the yeah, nothing can't go wrong by talking about wrestling. Uh, but uh, don't I guess I just got off on a tangent about Missy Hyatt being a Hall of Fame because she made the news today. Don't worry, come WrestleMania Hall of Fame next year, we'll hit it again. Um, like us, all of us, wrestling geeks do. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate everybody watching. Those of you who watch the replay, appreciate you guys watching and gals watching. Like I said, join me live. I don't bite. And also, like I said, be a champ. Hit that subscribe button. It's free. But as far as tonight goes, going to call it a night. So hope you folks have a good one. Yeah, there's so much more to be. Yeah, you're right. There's so much more to be said. So definitely, I mean, well, wrestling talk, you can just talk about repeat stuff and call out names for days. But uh, but definitely we'll visit that come this season, or somebody else accomplish something like graduate college or something like that. Um, oh, there's one more thing. Hold on a second. I didn't, give me a second here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Ah, crap. Come on. Give me 1 second. Can't believe they're. Mm. Anyway, can't really find his gimmick name right now, but
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too.
anyway, the condolences go out to the family of Reginald Folks, who was 35. He was fatally shot by former police officer Kobe Minor uh, while he was giving him. He was a Lyft driver, and there's articles about it. Not gonna get into it, but point is that the murderer has uh, been caught. I said the murderer's name is Kobe Minor. I think it's gotten some national press, not much as far as national press. You can figure out why, but yes, like I said, condolences go out to the family and friends of original folks who was 35, who was trained. I guess he was training, or it seems like I did see him before, but most of them has mentioned that he was in the WW4A basic AR Fox's wrestling school, wrestling promotion in Atlanta. He's been wrestling there. Uh, so a local guy. Uh, just sad to hear that anybody get murdered. Don't care who pulled the trigger or what, um, but yeah, our condolences go out to his family and friends. So uh, now with that being said, I was going to start off with that, but I didn't put it in my notes. I just remember, so I greatly apologize. But anyway, again, that does it for me this week. I hope everybody has a good Friday, good weekend coming up. I'll let you know about tomorrow. Not sure what's going on quite yet. I hate being. I need. I need. I need to get a book. I need to write stuff down. But anyway, hope you folks have a good one and take it easy. Hey there, thank you for checking this out. If you enjoyed it, share with friends, drop a like button, leave a comment. Also, be a champ and hit that subscribe button. You can also check me out on social media, Facebook at Ronald Ray, on X or Twitter is RPATRPTV46. Until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.